This one is a patron vote winner. It's a classic and it's a whopping 10 minutes long. And I have some thoughts about the nature of talent.
Yeah, getting a shiver in the dark. It's raining in the park the main time. Sound of the river, you stolen your whole everything. Come on down. Man, it's blowing Dixie double fall time. Yeah, you feel alright when you hear the music. Yeah. Well, now you're stepping inside, but you don't see too many faces. Coming in out of the rain, they hear the jazz go down. Competition, too many other places. Yeah, but the horns, they're blowing that sound, they're blowing.
There's no doubt about it, he is a fantastic musician, but he's a very interesting singer. I have no idea what the words of this song are. It is very laid back, it is so conversational, these really like fast little sentences where he's using those consonants to make it kind of bouncy, and it really reflects that fingerpicky style that he does on his guitar. It's almost spoken. And this brings me to the idea of talent and what talent is. Now, of course, his genius sits in the interplay between the vocals and the guitar and the whole sound that the band are making. And so it's more than just the singing, of course. Someone sent me an email this week. They sent me a clip of them singing and it was beautiful. And then they said, do you think I should pursue this? And the answer has nothing to do with their ability to sing. Mark Knopfler is singing in a style that many people could sing in, but his genius does lie in how he is interweaving it into the music. Your primary musical talent does not need to be your voice, although it can be. It could be songwriting, it could be singing massive high whistle notes and being like Mariah Carey. It could be just being really emotional and connecting. I think that's important for all singers. And the real question to ask yourself is, would I enjoy being in the music industry? There are loads and loads and loads of talented people out there. And I think the key is not just surviving in the music industry, because who wants to do a job that they're just surviving in? It's thriving in there and actively enjoying it. And there are pros and cons to that industry.
The jazz go down. Competition, too many other places. Yeah, but the horns, they're blowing that sound, they're blowing.
Yeah. I got that line. They're blowing. He's adding that like a little bit of grit in there, and it makes that line stand out. The rhythms that go with the guitar rhythms are so interesting. Let's listen a bit further.
Way on down south. Way on down south. London town.
It's kind of nasal.
Check it out, Guitar George.
Like, I love that. I have no idea what he said again. Da-da-da. That really fast phrase there where he's bouncing off each of the consonants and it's making it feel very, very crisp. A way you can practice that is by playing with different consonants. Move between a k and a l without moving your jaw too much. You basically want it to be your tongue moving so that gets used to creating these really crisp consonants. And the k is a tricky one because it can often get lost at the back of your mouth and you get like... But you want to be like k, 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 like a little drum beat. Another good one is gudda gudda gudda. Same thing. How much of a precise little beat can you make it?
Now he knows all them fancy chords. Just rhythm gonna make that guitar cry and make it sing. Sending old guitar and just all he can afford. When he gets up under them colored lights, gonna play that. Then Harry doesn't mind if he doesn't make that fancy singing job, you're doing quite alright, thank you very much.
I love how he's moving between I'm speaking, singing, here's my little guitar solo. It's like he's speaking to his guitar. Here's an interesting thing for people out there who are instrumentalists first if you want to improve your singing. So many instrumentalists who really understand how to sing through their instruments, how to bend the note, how to add that vibrato when that feels right. You'll have your own precise way of doing that with your instrument. Add that into your vocals. How can you think like an instrumentalist when you sing?
Hold your tongue just like anything. Sailing in a foggy Friday night with the Sultans. Yeah, with the Sultans all swing.
Oh, sweet.
Send a crowd of boys, they're just fooling around in the corner.
I love how each of these little guitar stabs are embodying what he's just said. It's like a little musical sting each time on a podcast or something. I also love the liveness of this. It's so live, there's no tracks, they're just singing it, they're playing it, and then it's so intricate. The rhythms, how they're all intricately weaving, is just like, it's like the rhythm of life.
Dress their baggies in their best King's Road. Don't give a damn about any trumpet playing man. 'Cause it ain't what they call it rock and roll. The Sultans, oh yeah, the Sultans play Creole.
Of the keyboards. I think we're about to get an epic guitar solo. His relaxation. It's so easy. He's not pushing his breath. He's not projecting. I don't know why I'm saying projecting like this, as if projecting isn't a real thing. It's a thing. We feel like we often have to push when we project, or a lot of people feel like that, whereas actually a lot of projection comes from resonance because it's not massively high or difficult to sing in many ways. He doesn't need a huge amount of airflow, but he does need a gentle stream. And something I get students to do in order to help them find that and to get that strength around the diaphragm and the rib cage is to try doing a box breath, which is 4 breaths in, hold for 4, 4 breaths out, hold for 4. I suggest through your nose at first because it's a little bit easier. Now, when we do that hold, often what happens is our false vocal folds and our vocal folds stop that air coming out. But what I want you to do is see if you can stop that air leaving your body by controlling your rib cage and controlling your diaphragm. And as you go around, you might feel that diaphragm, you might feel those intercostal muscles, the muscles in between your ribs start to work. When they get nice and strong and they're used to holding the breath like that, then you can control how much airflow you use. Although I've been saying he's focusing his technique into his guitar rather than into his vocals, I do think that his breath is very, very good and allowing him to have that freedom on stage. Dynamics. That dynamic there, that was wonderful. And these are all things as a musician you can use in your vocals. You might not want to. You might use the music to lift those vocals, or you might do it with your vocals as well.
before.
I love that.
He says at last, just as the time bell rings. Then you good night, now it's time to go home. Then you make it fast with just one more thing. We are the Sultans.
Oh, he is doing it with the
We
vocals.
are the Sultans of the swing.
There's a really interesting little bit of vibrato, sultans, just a little bit there, and I love that. I sometimes suggest this song not as a guitar playing song because the guitar is incredibly difficult, but as a singing song for beginners, because when you first start singing, it can be quite scary and it gets you used to pitching, but keeping you in a little bit of a speechy place so that you can kind of dip your toe in before you get to those really big songs. Is it finger picking? It's so rhythmic. Wow. Wow, what I always think is that musicians and singers, we all have our unique musical souls, and we have it whether or not we like it or not. And you can hear the same things he's doing on his guitar, he's doing with his vocals. As I was saying, the start of each phrase where he's using these that sound to me is so similar to that short, sharp sound that he's using on the guitar. And I hear this with so many musicians. Sometimes you have a player who's so legato and smooth, and then they sing and they're like, we all have a way that the music flows through us. And it might change throughout your life as well. That's really, really normal. But the key is just to zone in and feel what feels natural to you. And you might be a musician first, and you might be playing your guitar, and you know how that feels, and you know how the sound naturally moves through it for you. And your voice might be a little bit less of a natural instrument for you. But if you can zone into that same musical place, you'll make magic. So lush. What I'm loving is these musical journeys in these fast dynamic sections, and then we are slowed down and we're going into this like smooth, floaty part of the song. I focus on vocals a lot and how vocals take us on that journey, but of course the music is the underpinning. It is the river on which the vocals sail. And if the river is going in a different direction from the vocals, it doesn't work out well. You might hit a rock. And can you like feel that? It's so ephemeral, but feeling the feeling of the music is so important. Love the synth. What I love about the difference between the synths and the guitar, of course the synths have a kind of flatness to them because it doesn't have the natural variations of the slight different pluckings that you would get with your hands on the guitar. There is so much nuance that you can get through that guitar, and you can get it more with a piano when you've got your hammers. And I wonder if you can hear that slight difference. You can hear how beautifully nuanced that Mark Knopfler is. Slight differences on each note. You're all dancing with me. That was so good. Speaking of singing together, I have some really exciting news. I am creating a virtual choir. It's going to be here on my channel, live streamed for absolutely free on a Saturday evening UK time, so that's 7 PM UK time. I'll be putting loads of posts out on my social media, so keep an eye out. But I would love you guys to join us, and there will be some extra options for Patreons. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.